Good afternoon. I'm Donna Speaks. I'm the program director for a VCU paramedic program that is hosted here at Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. And we currently have 11 students in our current program. The program is split up into different educational modules, and right now we're working on our trauma module. The goal of today is to really focus on the students' ability to perform rapid yet very organized trauma assessments on trauma patients. So the students today, we have some who are moulaged and dressed up as patients, and we have others who will be acting as the lead provider during their training. As part of this trauma assessment, we do have our moulaged trauma patient. They're required to hide a quarter somewhere on their body, and the student, in order to, as part of the successful completion of the trauma assessment, needs to be able to locate that quarter. And as long as they do an organized and thorough trauma assessment, they will find the quarter. So we've been amazed at how far a quarter will go these days. So I'm going to go over and dispatch our crew who's going to be running the call this afternoon, and I believe our trauma patient is all ready. So we'll head over and dispatch. Hello. So two of our students are going to be acting as the lead provider and the assistant on the medic unit. They will respond over to where the trauma patient is once I give them the dispatch information. We do have two other students who will be acting as additional resources. So as long as the lead provider asks for an additional engine company to help with the trauma patient, that will be provided for them. So, are you all ready? Yes. Okay. So, Rachel, you are dispatched for a 36-year-old male, injuries from a fall at a warehouse.
Okay. Great. Patients over here?
Yeah. It is. I was working on the other side of the warehouse, and all of a sudden he's been loading stuff up here on the roof.
My name's Rachel in the fire department. Do you hear me? Stay still. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take C-spine. It says airway, it's breathing, 110 kilo, white male, late 30s. It appears that he is breathing. I'm going to go ahead and apply jaw thrust just to open up his airway. I do see chest rise. I'm going to go ahead and pass the C-spine off to my partner.
Your engine crew just pulled up.
So airway, alright. Hey, if you guys don't mind getting the backboard seat collar ready.
Yep, no problem. Backboard seat collar.
Radial carotid pulse, skin's warm, pink and dry. Tiger's good. Have refills less than 2 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead. If you don't mind, just wait on the C-spine and inspect his neck. But if you don't mind going ahead and getting a Naru read of 15 LPM on him. Alright, sir, can you hear me? I'm gonna check for painful. Alright, he's responding to painful stimuli. Alright, let me go ahead and expose him. I don't see any bleeding anywhere as of right now. If you have no purchases,
Yep.
don't cut it short.
Okay.
I see. I'll leave it on the start. Leave the short sleeve.
Taking shorts on?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't mind starting to work on that sleeve over there. Alright. I don't see any gross bleeding underneath his sweater.
Just keep on his face.
Alright. Don't see anything here. Alright. If you don't mind taking his socks and shoes off.
Yeah, I got that.
Alright. Go ahead and start from the head, look for palpitation, any broken facial bones. Then look in his nose, make sure there's no CSF fluid or any blood in there. Look in his mouth, make sure there's no fluid in there. No obstructions, I don't hear any stridor, wheezing or anything like that. Check his ears, make sure there's no CSF. Look down his neck to make sure there's no JVD or trachea deviation. Check to the back of the posterior, make sure there's no step off. If you don't mind, please putting the seat collar on and measuring him. Checking the clavicles. Checking the structure of his shoulders, down sternum, chest. Auscultate the apex. Alright, as lung sounds equal on both sides of the apex. I'm going to check down, looking for decap, ETLs, any penetration, any paradoxical motion. I'm going to go ahead and palpate the abdomen, distension or rigidity. I'm going to check pelvis stability, look for priapism. Check extremity, brakes.
Fetal pulses are barely palpable.
Very comfortable.
Barely.
Barely. Sir, can you hear me? Can you please move your fingers or your toes? Can you feel it? Alright, he's still painful. Still response painful stimuli. Alright.
Check deep, rapid, thready pulses.
Alright, sir, can you squeeze my fingers? Alright, so this guy's got circulation problems going on. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and backward him.
Which way you want to roll?
I don't see any apparent blunt or bleeding trauma, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll him over this way. Oh. We got a quarter. Alright, so onto the head.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
Alright. Then check the back of the head, look for any crepitation. Check the spine. Then step off. Anything? Good? Alright.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, center. Alright, we're gonna have to go up. Alright, you ready? You have to go
Where you
up.
gotta go? Up?
Yeah. Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good?
Are we good? Alright. Let's go ahead.
Probably gonna be a little bit on like this.
Move on a little bit.
And move up that way and then down.
Okay. Alright, you ready?
1, 2, 3. And then back down.
Alright,
1, 2.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go down to the big, and then we'll go up to the small. Yep. And then up to the small. Okay. And then we'll go to the small.
Probably want to go up a little bit higher through the traffic. You want to get under this.
Give me a deep breath.
Small.
Great.
Big. Cool. Alright. Hey.
Would you like to get the tape out?
He's right there.
Can you help me? Can you put this on the seal real hard?
Yeah. Alright.
Great. Go ahead and lift up that one. So I'm gonna get you on it.
Yep.
Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and get a. Can you get on him for right now? There should be one
Yep.
right there. For right now, before we get him onto the platform.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Get down there.
Where's the back of the line? Ready?
One sec.
1, 2, 3.
I'll grab the thing.
Okay. All right. If you don't mind going ahead and starting IV.
Yeah. That's me the
If you
IV
don't
bag.
mind going ahead and putting him on the monitor, I need to have a blood pressure, heart rate, respiration. Yeah, it's right there. Or
You.
do I still have pulses? Or are they gone? Sir, can you hear me? Wiggle your toes. Can you feel this? Are you still responsive to the painful stimuli? Can you excuse my man? Can you feel this? Are you still painful stimuli? Back up. And then make sure you get temperature, glucose. I need a 4-lead. I still have,
I'll get temperature and glucose.
well, there should be a manual BP pump in there, right? Alright, I still have chest rises. Check the ABCs, make sure he's breathing. It looks like he's still perfusing, or breathing. So I'm going to continue with the 15-liter non-rebreather.
Hey, Joe, is there a chance
And then I'm going to go
somewhere?
ahead and circulation.
Yeah.
Look
Still
down
have
inside
that.
there.
Check
Check
the
the
cap
bottom.
refill, less than 2 seconds. Alright, so let's start with rotation, talk. Looking for raccoon eyes. Looking for the battle signs underneath the ears. Look back in the mouth, just make sure there's no bleeding, CSF, and look in the mouth, make sure there's no foreign objects in there. In the ear, making sure it's CSF. Alright. Eyes, looking for pearl. Eyes are reactive, equal reactive to light. Continue to make sure
IV bag.
making sure that there's no JVD or trachea distension forming underneath the collar. Checking the clavicle still, shoulders,
Thank you. Sit there.
chest, got that.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
So walk right here. Thank you. And once you have the sharp,
Alright, I've had all 4 fields are clear. Continue to look for paradoxal motion, any penetration traumas that I missed. I'm going to palpate the abdomen, check for rigidity or distension. Rigid? Rigid? Okay. Alright, I'm not going to do that again. So what? Alright.
blood glucose is 86.
Rigid. Alright, I'm going to do this right here. Check the pelvis. Pelvis is still stable. Look for priapism. Check the, make sure there's no breaks, anything different. Alright, legs are still stable. Kneecaps. Check the pedal pulses. Absent. Alright, pedal pulses are absent now. Sir, can you feel this? Are you still responsive to pain? He's reacting to tickling. Alright, put this back on him. Alright, we're going to continue to do ongoing assessment with him every 5 minutes. I'm going to make note of the rigidity. I'm not going to palpate it anymore because it is rigid. Do I see any discoloration or bruising? Or no?
No.
Okay. Alright. And then continue to evaluate his airway, have my partner make sure that he's still adequately breathing. And then continue with the non-rebreather. And then reassess the vitals, 104 lead. Temperature, we already got that. We got the we need glucose.
Glucose is 86.
86. Okay. And then
74.
34 450. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start him off with 1,000 cc for fluids. We're gonna go ahead and open that up for him, and then I'm actually gonna want his second line started on his left arm, AC preferably. If you guys don't mind, start doing that. And then we're, yes please. And then we have the second line started there, and then that's it.
Cardiac pulse matches the monitor, rate of 126.
126? Okay. Alright. And then, but blood pressure's really low, so we want to give him some fluids. And then, so he definitely has internal bleeding. He meets the criteria for the trauma center and GCS. I think it's going to be like around 4, maybe 5, because he's unconscious, but he is responsive to pain. And then, can you guys think of anything else?
Your first 800 milliliters of saline. Your reassessment shows that he's more responsive to pain when you palpate the abdomen, and his blood pressure is 86/60.
86/60? Okay, that's a good, his map is at, what's the map show on the monitor?
His map is at 68.
68, alright, that's a good map, so we can go ahead and titrate it down to KBO for keeping the vein open, and then we'll just continue to monitor his BP, and then notify the hospital.
Heart rate is down to 140.
114? Okay. I'm okay with that. Alright. Now, go ahead and keep the blanket on him. And then let's try, do we have any heat packs?
That'll be a feedback in there.
There's no heat packs. If I put in the cabinet, then I'm going to do the groin, in his armpits, and also like around the IV catheter. I'm going to do that so that way it gives him more fluids. Alright, and then preferably I'd like to have at least 3 blankets on him.
He's responsive to voice now.
Voice now? Okay. Hey sir, my name's Rachel. Can you tell me what happened? You fell? You fell? Like, where did you fall from? How high? Well, that ladder. That ladder looks like it's probably like, what, 20 feet? Can you tell me your name? Sorry, what? Name? Oh, Nate? Okay. Nate, do you have any allergies?
Do what?
Aspirin? Okay, do you take any medication?
What do you take? What?
Blood pressure medicine? Okay. Do you have any medical conditions? Any like heart attacks, diabetes? High blood pressure? Have you ever had a heart attack before? No? Okay, have you ever had any heart surgery? I didn't see any surgeries there. Okay. Are you compliant with your medicine? Okay. How long ago did you fall?
His pulse oxygen
100%?
and
Okay.
title is 36.
All right, we'll go ahead and titrate down to nasal cannula. We'll do it like at 4. And then,
He holds a pulse ox at 98 on 4 liters nasal cannula.
okay. All right, do you feel any pain anywhere? All over? Okay, is there any particular spot that hurts the most? Back? Okay, all right. All right, we're gonna put this nasal cannula around your nose, okay?
Take it down.
You're at the hospital. You're at the hospital?
I got you.
You want me to do a hospital report? Alright, we're gonna take this. Alright, we're at the hospital. So we're gonna go ahead and take him out. you guys good?
I'm plugging in the score.
All right. Scenario's over. You guys can let Nate get up and dressed and warm, please.
Alright, you're good, right? You can get out yourself? Yeah, I could probably get out. I don't get it.
So while Rachel finishes up getting the patient back into regular clothes again, what we'll do is something that we call a debrief, where we allow the person who is the lead provider, in this case it was Rachel, talk to us about exactly what her thought process was and what she was thinking throughout the scenario. We allow the other team members to interject and give their evaluation of how the assessment went. And keeping in mind that these students are in their 17th week of class. This is a 42-week program, so we certainly have a long way to go. She did a very good job, and we'll talk about the ways that she can be even better, and as well as making sure that she repeats the things that were done well on a consistent basis for future assessments.